Here with women's basketball assistant Aaron Crane and junior Sam Jones. Ladies, thanks for being here. Aaron, I know you got thrown into the fire because Coach Pollari didn't want to do today's, so we're going to start with you. For those of you that don't, a lot of people don't know you because this is your first year. Why don't you give everybody a little history of how you ended up coming to St. Mary's?
Well, I spent the last 3 years out in South Dakota at Northern State University as an assistant there. That's where I originally met Brent, and we just kept in contact ever since he left after my first year out there, and basically I was waiting for him to get a head job so I could latch on, and so here I am.
And Sam, every lady that I've had here, I've asked the same kind of question to start with. A new coach this year, and yet you guys are still just kind of rolling along like nothing's changed. How has it been for this first year under Coach Pollari and Coach Crane?
So far it's been great. I mean, a lot of change at the beginning, but change is good, and I think we're still just rolling with it, and we're a lot more used to it now than a month ago, but so far so good.
And Coach, how about from your standpoint, the MIAC is new to you. Talk a little bit about your experience so far in the conference.
So far, all my life, I grew up only 2 hours away from here, so I'd always heard of the MIAC and how strong it was and how good of a conference it was. But personally, I've been away from it for so long that it's been a change for me. But I've been learning and trying to adapt to, different competition, and so far so good.
And now, not to embarrass Sam at all, but talk a little bit about Sam's role on this team and what she brings to the Cardinals.
I think Sam's biggest asset for us is defensively. She's a real strong asset there, and she doesn't, usually make stupid fouls, and she can stay in the game for the majority of the time that we need her.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day sometimes, but she's just been very reliable for us in that 5 position where we're, kind of lacking on our shorter team, so she's been real good.
And Sam, talk a little bit about your role, because it kind of has changed this year, and you've kind of stepped into the limelight, so to speak. Talk about this year and how you felt you've matured as the season's gone on.
Yeah, for sure. I had to step up from last year, and I agree with Coach defensively. I feel like it's my job to hold the other team's 5-player to a certain amount of points, or just get stops on defense, and I think the leadership role also had to be stepped up, becoming a junior and that sort of thing.
And I'm going to ask you, it's kind of an odd question, how do you like that role? How do you like being one of those that people are looking to now rather than you being able to look to somebody else to maybe provide that leadership?
I'd say it's fun just because of the team that we have. Our underclassmen love our freshmen, and they make it easy, and they're fun to be with, and it's just kind of like being there for them, I guess. And
Coach, it's got to be kind of nice as we're talking. You're preparing for another game. It seems like every other day now you're in game mode. You've got Concordia on Wednesday. Talk a little bit about the start to this season. You're 12-1 right now, and you're atop the conference, unbeaten at 6-0. Things seem to be rolling pretty well for you guys right now.
Yeah, well, definitely we're off to a great start. I mean, coming in here, me and Brent obviously did not know what to expect at all. So we've been pleasantly surprised, and now that we've kind of got the ball rolling, now we've kind of set this standard of where we should be at. So now it's, this is where we want to be, and this is where we expect to be.
And Sam, no stranger to Concordia. You've played them your 3 years now, or your 2 years before this. Talk a little bit about Wednesday and the Cobbers and the importance of playing well against them on Wednesday.
Playing well against Concordia is huge. They're top of the MIAC. They always have been, and they're always a tough team for us to play. Luckily, we get to play them at home, though. Last year we went into overtime with them, so it's going to be a big game.
And Coach, from your standpoint, what are going to be some of the keys to Wednesday's game against Concordia?
Definitely we want to control the tempo. They like to push the ball. They have a really good little point guard, similar to Bridget, and so we'd like to jump on them right away and just maintain control.
7 o'clock Wednesday night, St. Mary's Gym. Big game, St. Mary's and Concordia. Good luck, ladies.
Thanks.